What's going on, people? I think I finally found my favorite DPS, and that is Mr. Fantastic. I did not know I would love this character so much, but when I say this man is cracked, he is actually cracked. But anyways, I'm here to show you how to get down with Mr. Fantastic. Let's get it. All right, his main attack, which is the stretch punch. You have 3 hits of this. 1, 2, 3, and then he does a double punch, right? Again, 1, 2, 3. Cool. Now with his primary attack, his max range is about 13 or 14 meters. So you have to be pretty close to your opponent in order to get some damage going. You don't have to be up their ass, but you got to be pretty close. You have to interact to be effective with Mr. Fantastic. You can't be sitting around the wall. You got to be up in the mix. The great thing about stretch punch that I don't think a lot of people are gonna pay attention to is the fact that if you miss it, you see how I missed it? If you drag your reticle across, you can still hit the opponent like so. You see how you can drag it? A lot of people, I'm telling you, they're not going to pay attention to this. I hit the whole 3 bots by just pressing 1 attack. That's one great thing about him. You want to pay attention to the last punch because it lasts the longest. You can drag it across more enemies. Now let's talk about his next ability, Reflexive Rubber. Stretch body to absorb damage before launching stored damage in the targeted direction. Pretty much what that means, if somebody is throwing attacks at you, you can absorb the damage and you can shoot it back like so. He has up to 300 damage you can take, and you can shoot it back at the opponent. Okay, in this state, you can still move. You can get damage up to 300, but once you hit that 300, your ass is grass. So make sure you try to get out the way while you're in this state. Get back to your team, absorb some damage, and probably try to get some heals, find a health pack. Just get out the way so you can survive a little longer. That's what that move is best used for. Don't forget, you can also use this to survive ults. Do not forget that. His next move, flexible elongation. No Diddy. Gain a shield, select the target, and dash towards them, dealing damage to enemies and granting shields to allies. You can use this more defensively. You can use it more offensively. It all depends on the situation. Let's say you know a teammate's about to die and you want to keep them alive. You can use this attack. What it does, it grabs them. You dash next to them, you give them more health, more shields, and you know you can help them stay alive by being next to them. And pay attention, you can do it 2 times. 1, 2, right after each other. Also, if you notice, as he attacks and uses his abilities, he gets this meter. We're gonna talk about that, but that's literally to fuel his passive. And I'm gonna teach you guys all about that once we get through all his moves. Or you can use it more aggressively. Let's say you have an opponent running away. You want to get closer to them. You can use this to get on them so you can do some attacks to finally kill them. Because we know about the Mantis and the Lunas. They're always running away. So this is a great move to get in on them and get some attacks. So if you do it on an ally, you and your ally get shields. If you do it on the enemy, they get a little bit of damage. You get shield and you can keep attacking. So let's move on to the next move. And you got his next attack. The extended grip. Extend arms forward to entangle an enemy, then press the attack button to pull the enemy towards you, or select and yank another enemy, knocking them airborne against each other. You can use it on 1 enemy or you can use it on 2. So let's say I get 1 person, I could click on another person, grab them and hit them together. The other way to use it, let's say I got an enemy on me, we doing a 1v1, cool. I catch them, I grab them, I can yank them. So let's say we're fighting next to an edge and this is happening. You can actually use this to throw them off a cliff. So just imagine you're on the edge of a cliff and somebody's fighting you and you use that attack. What I mean, that shit is so fun to do. It's really fun to do. Or you could just use it like this, yank them towards you, just to mess up their aim and get some more attacks in. But my favorite way to use it is yanking people off cliffs. It's too satisfying. So all you gotta do is turn your reticle the opposite way or towards where you want the opponent to go, and you'll yank them that way. Let's say you're fighting 2 healers. I think you will opt for this instead of going for just a solo attack, because it does decent damage, I should say. And I think one of the most effective ways to use this, let's say you want to hone in on an enemy that's doing the most work, you can just use this to grab them, bring them towards your team so the team can focus him, get him out of there so your team can move. That is a very, very effective way to use it in a real match. And then you have his ultimate ability, Brainiac Bounce. Leap upwards and smash the ground, slowing enemies within range. Can leap again upon landing a hit. So pretty much with his ultimate, you get 3 initial bounces. If you don't hit anybody, your ultimate stops. But if you so happen to hit somebody by the 3rd bounce, you can keep going until you get to 6 bounces in total, like so. Like that. I would say this is much more effective in smaller rooms because he doesn't have to bounce that high to do damage again. Let's say we're fighting in a room like this with low ceilings. When he does it all, he doesn't even have to jump that high, and he goes through it really quick so he can get quicker DPS that way. Let's talk about his passive. His passive gets charged up by every attack that he does and he lands. See, now you go into this tank state. He gets so much more health and you do a lot more damage. You're much more sustainable in this. So after you reach 100, you go into the state and he does way more damage in this state and he stays alive much longer. But once you're in that state, you can't do anything but use your primary attack and your ultimate attack, nothing else. You can get this state pretty easily and pretty quick if you use your special attacks. If you pay attention to your abilities, you see when I do my special attack, he gets 30 off rip. But when I do my primary attack, he's getting like 4 to 5. It's not that much. So the fastest way to charge this is doing special attacks. So I got 1, 2, do 1 more, and he's already into this state. So what I like to do as a match start, let's say we're running towards the enemy. I'll just put some shield on my allies to charge it up. And by the time I get to my enemy, I use the last special attack I have, hit them like 2 times. I'm already in this state and I could just get to work destroying their squishies. So gaining this state is not that hard, people. Just land your special attacks to get into this state and do some real damage on these folks. Now, last thing we need to talk about, his team up is with his girl, Sue. As you can see, he gains an extra shield when he does it. He gets more survivability with Sue on his team. So that's pretty much what I got going on now, people. I hope this Mr. Fantastic guy gets you guys going and winning some games, because I have been destroying. That's what I got right now. If you guys need some more tips and tricks with Mr. Fantastic, I'll be more than happy to provide some more tips, because I got some secrets. But outside of that, let me know how you feel about this in the comment section. TDN signing out. Yo, yo, yo.